my gosh, you guys are getting like real life Alyssa right now. Real life version of me. Just total chaos happening, but we're gonna make it work. Thank you for being patient as I get myself all situated in here. Okay, I think we got everybody in. Oh wow, I'm wearing a bathing suit. There is a lot of boobs happening. If you guys did see my story today uh on Instagram, somebody actually told me on my Instagram reels that no one would click my links unless I showed more boobs. So we're going to hope that that works today, right? Do you guys love the realness of all of me? All right. I hope you're all here for it because this is what you're getting. All right. So today we're recording. Everyone can hear me? You guys can hear me okay? Good? No? Yeah? All right. I was a little nervous there. Okay. So today we are doing something super special. Today I have someone with me that's hanging out with me that means a whole heck of a lot to me. She is very special to me. She is a friend, somebody that I call my friend, and I know I can go to her with anything I have going on. And I'm so happy that I can also call her a client and that she has chosen to allow me to mentor her in so many other different ways, and truly we mentor each other. But I just feel so fortunate to have this beautiful woman in my life, Miss Shanita Jones, CPA. Hello, hello. So welcome, Shanita. And luckily she's going to be doing most of the talking today because she's really great at that, and I'm frazzled from a stressful morning of traveling. I'm not kidding. I just got off a plane and just got here, and they're like, "No, we can't check you in." And I was like, "Okay, my kids are hot. Like, what are we doing?" So welcome, Shanita. I want to start this off. Today, what we're going to do is we're really going to learn a little bit about Shanita. We're going to learn about her success, and we're going to talk a little bit about her working with us, specifically in our Moneymaker Bootcamp. She is in our higher level mastermind for our higher level clients, but we're really going to talk about bootcamp today. And we're going to shine a light on like this type of success you can have in there. So, Shanita, would you do me a huge favor? I'm going to mute myself while you do this. Will you tell us about you? Will you tell us about your business? And I would also love for you to touch on niching, because you're my example to all of my girls. Whenever anyone's like, "Oh, I'm afraid to niche. I'm afraid to niche." And I'm like, yeah, well, the most successful people in our containers are highly niched. And I always use you as an example. So I would love if you touched on that as well.
Okay, wow, that's a lot. Thank you so much for having me, Alyssa, and for Moneymakers. I really want to say, first of all, I'm so damn proud of you, girl. I met Alyssa like 4 years ago, and I have watched and went along the journey of the evolution of Alyssa. And she is one of my favorite digital marketers, one of my favorite people because she does all that she does with integrity. So she's winning with integrity, and that's super duper important out here in these internet streets, especially. So you can always tell a fruit by their tree, a tree by their fruit, right? So a little bit about me. My name is Shanita. I am the owner of Jones Taxes and Financial Services, where we are the accountants that care, and we proudly serve childcare and healthcare business owners, taking care of those who takes care of everyone else, making sure they don't have to worry about their money. So that's what we do. So I started probably 12 years ago. And like many of you, I thought niching was not a good idea because I had a scarcity mindset. And I thought that if I niched, I would be blocking myself off from all of these other opportunities and all of this other money. I thought that if I niched, people would look at me and I would just be the daycare accountant, or I would only be the plumbing accountant or whatever your niche is. And it's funny because I had no idea what I was talking about today, so y'all bear with me. However, I was in another marketing program. I am a little bit of a course mastermind junkie, and it was really impressed upon us that we choose a niche. So I sat down and I chose truckers. And then after the truckers came the plumbers. And after the plumbers, I think I swung by the mental health therapist. went to healthcare, came back. So I went a whole lot of places. And then I sat down and I talked to one of my mentors. And he didn't realize what he was saying to me. And he said, well, who do you like working with? And so I listed them all on a sheet of paper, all of the people that I liked. And I said, okay, why is he asking me to do this? And then I realized he never told me why he wanted me to do it. Some of the best mentors don't tell you why they tell you to do the stuff they tell you to do. And I realized the thing that they all had in common was that they all own childcare businesses. So when people say, how did you choose childcare? I never chose childcare. Childcare chose me. And I did it because I also enjoyed the people. I appreciated the mission they serve. And I am really big on education. After having been a high school dropout myself, a teen mom high school dropout myself, and by the grace of God, coming to have 3 college degrees and a CPA license, I know that had I not had that start in early childhood, there was no way, if my aunt didn't teach me how to learn, I wouldn't have been able to learn and do the things that I did and been able to help the people that I'm able to help. So as I drop stuff along and y'all pick stuff up, y'all can give Alyssa some engagement if y'all are live and drop a got it in the chat box. See, now I'm going to do what she do, right? So anytime you catch something that I put down, y'all go ahead and give my girl a got it. And the got it there, in case y'all didn't get it for the people in the back, the got it there was, if you can find something that you enjoy doing and something that you can believe in, you can sell it. The reason why we have so much problems with niches is because we think, well, I have experience over here and I work for law firms and I did this, and we think of all these things that we've done before and we limit ourselves from thinking about what we can do in the future. So if you're trying to figure out a niche, stop trying to figure out a niche, just be. And don't worry about being cut off. I have people reach out to me in all kind of industries, and it's so funny because they say things like, hey, I have this kind of business. Do you think you can help me? I know you're a childcare CPA, but will you be able to help somebody else? And I laugh and I say, well, yeah, I got to tell you, there's no real school that teaches you how to become a childcare CPA or a childcare accountant. But watch this. If you own it and you believe it and you speak it and you're honest, we got to be honest, right? Other people will see it, believe it, and speak it too. So when I told people that I was a childcare accountant and I walked it and I talked it, I don't know if y'all got it, other people picked it up and they saw it and they told other people. So that's the thing behind niching. So Leslie, I agree. You do have to have a passion for it, but none of this stuff is fun. Reconciling stuff is not fun. I'm not extremely passionate about running a trial balance, right? So you got to think about the mission. And on Alyssa's call yesterday, I'm so glad I showed up for that call, because after I got done with her, I wrote some of the best copy that I wrote all month. Just listening to her. So when I was on her call, she started why, right? And I was like, if she says why one more time, but then finally it clicked. So if your coach or your mentor or the person talking to you is not ever getting on your nerves, you're not listening close enough, because an effective person will tell you the same thing more than once. If it's true, they're not changing up every day. And you know they will, because they're not changing up every day. Y'all get that? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all see what I did there?
So I want to touch on 2 things you said. The first thing I think is really important is a good mentor doesn't tell you why and doesn't actually explain exactly why we ask you to do a certain thing. And the reason is because there's a reason behind this, because we don't want you to create the outcome based on the outcome that you think you should have. We want you to create the outcome based on your heart. Right. And so if we ask you to, like, hey, I really want you to just brain dump, I want you to write down every single person that in your life that's made an impact on you, like, what are you really passionate about? And it's like, well, why do I have to write that? Right. Like, what is this? What kind of, and sometimes people give pushback on that. Like, well, that just seems like a waste of time. Like, I need to figure out a strategy. But so much of growing a business actually is understanding who you are and what's important to you and what you're passionate about and what you're going to commit to because you have conviction behind it. So many business owners lack conviction and then they lack cash, right? Because that conviction, when you feel strongly about supporting a specific community and you want to participate in that community and you want to infiltrate that community and you want to see that community do better, that's when that translates, right? Where if you lack that conviction and you're just like, well, I'm just going to pick this niche to pick it, that doesn't translate as well. And you know, they can see it from a mile away. One of my great friends is a dentist and he's like, oh yeah, you know, I see all those CPAs that they pick dentists because they think we have big pocketbooks. Like they think we just have tons of money to pay them and that's why they pick us. Like, and he jokes around about it. So it's like, if you think that they're not aware, they're aware, right? There's an awareness. So you really have to have conviction behind who you're choosing to work with and why you're choosing to work with them. And so that's why I love when Shanita talks about niching, because same for me, like 80% of our clients are in the accounting and bookkeeping niche. I didn't pick that. That just picked me. Like I wasn't like, man, when I grow up, I really just want to help accountants grow their firms and help women leave their corporate jobs, right? That was something I like picked. It just picked me. It's what happened naturally. But I also came to those conclusions through, well, who can I help the best? Who do I get the best results for? Who do I feel passionate about helping because I can relate to their story? As a corporate CFO who hated my life and hated my job and wanted to start my own business, I have conviction behind that. I know what it feels like to be on the other side of that success, right? So love that. Awesome stuff so far. So the next thing that I wanted to ask you, Shanita, is like, as far as like you're relatively experienced, you have this corporate job. I think you and I talked for the first time on the phone in like 2019. I did a sales call with you.
It might have been before that because it was before I knew anything about marketing. I talked to Alyssa.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that this morning. Yeah.
Yeah. So you and I have been hanging around each other. And so you're one of those clients that I would really consider advanced and experienced. Like you've been around, you didn't just get started, right? And so from that standpoint, I want to touch on like coming from the perspective of somebody who's advanced and maybe they already have a pretty successful business. I want to hear like from your perspective, why did you still join 30-Day Moneymaker Bootcamp in the first place? Like, why did you decide to join that program? It was last year. Yeah. It would have been in 2021. So why did you ultimately decide to? Because I think there's this perception that it's like, that it might be something just for startups. And so I want my whole idea here is to like debunk that, right? So hopefully you debunk it for me.
Okay. So I'm going to take it back a little bit further. And I'm going to tell you the first thing I ever bought from Alyssa, she had me meditating and writing in a damn journal. And she was like, close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out, and write all this stuff. And I was like, what the hell? How do I get clients from this? But what I never told her was I went back and I was breathing in and breathing out and writing in this journal. And after I got done doing all these things and laughing at myself for doing all these things, I was able to clear my head and reset, right? So when you are doing all the things and you got your processes set up and it's all in your head and it's going and you're going according to your smooth little path, you sometimes need to clear your head and reset. You sometimes need to do something that is not your ordinary norm. I have had coaching students that I was helping that I said, hey, I think you need to go over there and do this boot camp with me with Alyssa. I even paid for a friend to do Alyssa's course because the friend wasn't listening to me. And he needed a fuck yeah thrown in there or something so that he would listen and move. Because it was important to me that the people that I help, if you don't understand the language I'm speaking, maybe you need a translator. Maybe you need somebody that speaks your dialect. So I sent them over there. So I joined because it was different than what I was doing. I am a paid traffic girl. I am lazy, y'all. I don't want to do a whole lot, but it wasn't until I started seeing the 18 dancing around doing their thing, and I realized, yeah, I have had a lot of my success from paid traffic, but in the beginning and sometimes in the middle, I did a lot of organic stuff that helped push it. So I joined the boot camp because the iOS updates, for those of you that know about Facebook ads, that completely came through the Facebook ads world and it hit us like a ton of bricks. So doing some of the things that we did before, we had to move different. We had to get more attention. If you are always in Facebook jail, like some of us tend to end up there. Um, one of my campaigns we ran against me being in Facebook jail. And I was just using these same things. And I joined because the energy and I'm probably one of the bad people, and I'm sure Alyssa will tell you why. I'm probably one of the worst people to talk about the boot camp because I dropped out in 4 days. But we'll talk about why. But I'll still do boot camp whenever boot camp comes along. Um, so I did it because it was different. I did it because I had this list of people and I wasn't hitting them like I could have been hitting them. I wasn't making an impact because I was on my usual course and I wanted to shake it up a little bit. So I said,
Yeah.
hey, this is completely unlike me. Let me just do these things and see what happens. And I didn't, and I made it my own. I personalized it, you know what I mean? So that it was me. I was still authentic, but I was just doing more than I normally would. And I told you I'm lazy. It was easy. It was like, just take this template and some of the stuff you don't even have to change if you don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you said that. We're going to go back to it's easy. I think so many people try to overcomplicate this process that it's going to be this big, huge thing. And it's like, I've never made posting easier, truthfully. Like, and I had to do that for my people. Here, lay down right there if you're tired. Then he's just got to lay there. I'm almost done. Okay. So, did they bring our food to our table? Okay. Okay. So, sorry, I got distracted here. So I know that let's actually talk about that right now. Like, let's unpack that about it's easy. Can you talk about from your perspective, like how long do you think this should take somebody per day to do the tasks in the boot camp?
Well, I think I might have done 2 or 3 of them. So y'all pretend like I didn't say this. I literally just used the same stuff that I used before. I didn't really do anything new in the first time. And you made it easier from the first one. Like each
Yeah.
round seems to get a little smoother, get a little different. I don't think it takes long. And a lot of the people in the group, which in the one where I was in the running trying to win, they cheated because those girls were doing like 2 and 3 weeks at a time up front. Um, so I said that was cheating, but it really wasn't cheating. It just was that easy that they were able to do. I think somebody was like, "Oh, on Sunday I'm gonna do all my money making posts for the week," and I was like, "You cheated." She said we're supposed to do this work every day. That's why you won, and I did. but
No, we're big fans of batching your work. We're big fans of that. If you can batch all your work and get it done on Sunday. And so to give some perspective for those of you who are like, okay, what is 30-day moneymaker boot camp? It's money making tasks, right? It is the tasks that we want you to do every single day. It's the same things I teach my highest level clients. It's the same things that I do in my business in order to make more money. So it's posting consistently, it's getting visible, it's putting out quality content, it's working on growing your audience, it's being engaged with your audience, right? So often people are like, well, what if I don't have an audience, right? And in this case, like Shanita has an audience, she does, from paid traffic, right? But I didn't grow my audience that way. And the way I grew my audience was putting out quality content, because nobody knows to read your content unless you're putting out the content. It's like if you had a party and you didn't send out the invites, like you got to create the invite first, right? Like nobody knows to come if you don't tell them there's something going on. So it doesn't go audience before content. It's definitely content before audience. And I think the other part of,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
One of my favorite things about the Moneymaker Bootcamp is not even the content. The content is really good, but I like the energy. There's two girls in there. I don't see them on here, Dana and Felicity. Like I came back the second time just to watch them. Like before boot camp even starts, they're in there getting pregame, and you're just excited and motivated because you're seeing other people winning. So that dopamine is being released from your brain when you're seeing what's happening with other people. You're seeing their wins and stuff like that. So I really come for that. And then the posts do motivate you or stimulate you to post other things. So Alyssa will say, post these 30 things, but just because you posted those 30 things doesn't mean you can't post your own 30 things. And then you start, they say it takes 28 days to build a habit, form a habit. So I think it's some psychology in there too. And that's why I don't batch and I don't cheat. So if you get used to doing these things, it becomes part of your habit. You brush your teeth, you post your Moneymaker posts. I mean, you're not going to forget to brush your teeth because you got to do that every day. Well, you got to post your stuff every day. So that's why I hang out there.
Yes. It is a whole vibe. And so let's talk about the results that you got in boot camp, because that's what most people are here to hear. They're like, tell us about this 30K. So why don't you talk about the results that you got in boot camp and what that looked like for you?
Okay. My name is Shanita and I'm a boot camp dropout. So in the beginning of boot camp, we all getting pre-gamed and everything. And I was just playing. Okay. But there's a whole lot of mindset people in there. And I didn't realize my words. I should have said something different. But I said, I'm going to make 30K in 30 days. I had no idea how the hell I was going to do that, if that was possible. And 4 days later, I was like, all right, guys, I'm out. I made 30K. And I think it was like 3 or 4 days. And the way I did that was I started posting. So I took some of the stuff that Alyssa said to post, and then I already had my own stuff that I was posting anyway. So I kind of like combined stuff. I sent it to my email list. Then I took that written copy and I read it on a Facebook Live. I put it on my business page, and I don't even think I used my personal page, which I will be doing this round. I didn't even use my personal page. I just put it in all the places that my people were. Any groups that I was allowed to post in, I posted it in them groups. And this lady that had been tracking me for, man, I had at least like 3 or 4 calls with her, been talking to her since I started. She came through, she was one of the first people that came into my funnel via paid traffic. And she never gave me any money outside of my low ticket things I sold. But she never worked with me. And when she saw me doing this boot camp, here I go again. Here that girl go again. And I think finally she was like, let me just give her this damn money so I can stop worrying about this accounting stuff. So that was the first 30K in 30 days. And
Awesome.
then there were other sales too during the boot camp period. They were like tax returns or consultations or stuff like that. But I was bad because once I saw that 30K in 30 days, I said, okay. Next boot camp, I said, and I'm gonna put this out there publicly. I need to replace 5 clients with 5 $2,500 a month clients, and I need to do that in 30 days. So let's see. I gotta follow the process. I gotta go type it up in the boot camper and that boot camp group. I gotta go type it in there. So because if it's not written, it's not real. And I think that's also part of the power of the copy. Because you're actually writing this stuff, writing, whatever. So yeah, it's totally cool. That's what happened to me in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. Awesome. And, it's exactly what you said. Like, it's definitely one of those things, like you believe it, and then you take that aligned and inspired action, and then you have somebody there literally handing you the things like, just go do this. Right. And so when it all works out, it's like, it's a proven, repeatable system. You keep using it and you can use it anytime you want. Right. And And I think the other part of this is like, even when like we want to replace some income, recently we were like, okay, we need to create, like, I think we decided we needed to create like another $20,000 in reoccurring revenue, because then we would like never ever have to worry about like XYZ, right? It's like, okay, let's do that, right? And you guys, what we went back to was like our own process. Like we weren't like, oh, let's go find somebody else to teach us how to do that. We were like, oh, let's follow our shit. Like, let's do what we teach, because we can fall off the wagon too. We can be inconsistent. We'll have things come up, right? And so it's like, okay, let's get back to doing our 7 magic posts consistently, religiously, making sure that we're following through on the strategies that we teach our clients to make money. And, you know, then it works, then it happens. And, you know, we did that, and we did some of what we're going to teach you guys. It was 2 weeks ago, and we ended up closing $90,000 worth of clients in 2 days, because it's just like, oh yeah, get back to being consistent. Like, get back to doing the things you know how to do and you know how to make money. So I love that. So Shanita, I am going to wrap up here in a minute. So if anyone has any other questions about joining boot camp, obviously you can go into the exactly what to post group. Oh gosh, it's not exactly what's post anymore. We've changed the name of it.
It's where CEOs scale.
It's where financial pros become CEOs.
I'm like, that's what I do.
Yes. The
It's
other
where you
one
make
is
money.
where CEOs scale. So you got it right for the Moneymaker Mastermind. That is
Oh,
our
okay.
tagline in there. So you can go in that group, and there's tons of information, but also feel free to drop your questions in here. We can still answer them. But my last question for you, Shanita, is anyone who's considering joining the boot camp, what would you say to them today if they're a little reluctant or feeling nervous? Or, you know, some people are like, oh, it's only $297, so is it really worth it, right? Like, there's a price perception, right? That's like, oh, well, it's only $297, so is it worth, am I really going to get that much value out of it? And so I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, my thoughts on that was, it's only $297. I don't know if this is really going to work, but it's only $297. Maybe it will work. And if it don't work, I'm the one that said it's only $297. So it's either only $297 or it's only $297.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that the next part of that is, anyone who is considering joining, what would you say to them?
I would say game on.
Game on. Let's
Because it's a
do
competition.
this.
For those of you that don't know, it's a competition that I
Yes.
passively participate in. But it's not a mean competition. It's a fun, encouraging competition.
Yes, absolutely. And there is cash prizes at the end. So,
and also, if you join the boot camp, you can just take all the stuff that you're doing, and even if you go dormant for a while, you can come back and repurpose all of that stuff. Like, it's yours. I don't think Alyssa takes it away from you and buries it in the sand or anything. Like, you still have it. That's your IP. You can use it however you want. Once you have it, you got it. So it's only $2.99.
Yeah. Whether you use it now, and we've had quite a few people say that, like, hey, I got too much going on to participate right now. Can I still get in and then still use all of this information and all of the materials later on? It's like, absolutely you can. Yes, you can. So any other questions before Allie dropped the link in there? I know that we're down to two more people. The next 2 people that join, the next 2, that's it. I will get a one-on-one call with someone from the A team. So me, Allie, or Alexis. So next 2 people that join, Allie dropped that link. If you have any questions, reach out to us. If you're concerned about anything, reach out, and we are here to answer those questions. And we hope to see you on the inside. And my only question for the rest of you guys is, who plans on winning?
Mike's gonna win.
It's possible. It's possible. I'm hoping somebody comes for Mike. I want somebody
Isn't
coming
there,
from my.
isn't there the rule about previous winners not being able to win though?
Oh, I forgot that we did talk about that in the past,
Mhm.
that we weren't gonna do previous winners,
Mhm.
can't win first place again, because we
I
wanted to
mean, it
make
has
sure
to be
that,
fair for everybody else, right? So.
yeah,
The arrogance, the arrogance.
I know.
Yes, the confidence, not arrogance,
All
confidence.
right now, come on.
It's not
I
arrogance
love
if it's
Mike.
true, Shanita.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Anyone have any other questions? Any questions for me? Any questions for Shanita? No?
Okay, y'all. I want to see who's gonna come through boot camp and win 30K in one day. Beat me.
Yes. Let's go. I'm excited. We're going to open the group up in a couple of days, and we'll get out the schedule to you guys on the Zoom calls that we're going to do in there. And you get immediate access to the course. We just wait a couple of days to open up the boot camp group. So you guys will start getting admitted in there. We have to finish cleaning it out, I think. I think it's still a mess from the last round. But I'm going to go try to see if I can check into my hotel instead of sitting in the lobby. My kids are miserable, so that's fun. All right. Mwah! I love
See you guys.
See you later. Thank you, Shanita.
See
Oh, we're
ya.
letting everyone in today. So they're letting everyone in the group today. Bye, guys.